And the fourth element is hold your feet to the fire. I love this image, right? Holding your feet to the fire. This is the accountability gap. It's the gap between your intention and your behavior. It's about a failure to follow through. There are three primary reasons why this occurs. First, there's no discipline of accountability in the organization. It's not about intention. We all have good intention, but we don't follow through. For example, we all leave meetings with the best of intentions, but life happens. Everything that was there before you went to the meeting is still there for you to do. All the stuff that piled up while you were in the meeting is there, plus whatever you signed up for during the meeting. And your time didn't expand. You have to create a discipline for follow-up, for follow-through. Don't just have a wish list of actions. Have a plan for holding your feet to the fire and for checking your progress against those actions. Secondly, accountability requires clear success criteria. What are you holding yourself accountable for? You must be able to know when you're done, when you have succeeded. This is also one of the reasons we overwork. We don't know when we are done. At Compaq, we had direct line of sight from our jobs to the impact on our customers, internal and external. And that line of sight, that transparency, it created success criteria and brought about true accountability. We had nowhere to hide. Lastly, and most importantly, you must measure and reward. A client announced a change they were making to their processes to do things differently, and it was really going to make things better for their market and for their clients. Everybody tried to make it work. There was a lot of good intention and an awful lot of hard work. But ultimately, they weren't very successful. Why? Because they failed to adjust the measures for their employees. As a result, the employees were acting in some of the new ways they'd been told to do and that they wanted to do. But they were also acting in some of the old ways that they knew they were being measured on. And that created a gap. So there was a gap in terms of what could happen in that organization. We really do get the behaviors that we measure. Make sure that you measure the right ones. Now, lastly in this framework, and most importantly, let's look at the element of mastering the art of leverage. So this is the most important concept in the framework, master the art of leverage. It's about leveraging learning and leveraging your time. One tool of leverage that I like to use for leveraging learning is the debrief. The debrief, it's not just at the end of a project, right? We often do big projects and then we have postmortems at the end. But using debrief is part and parcel of your normal workplace. This is a huge point of leverage. You probably plan your major meetings, for example, but do you debrief them afterwards? Do you take time to discuss not just the content, but also the process? Talking not just about cash flow, market share, all important questions, but also asking questions about the process itself. So what if at the end of this week's staff meeting you said, "Hey everyone, tell me one thing that made this meeting really effective for you. And now tell me just one thing that would make it more effective." How powerful would that be? How much leverage could you gain from debriefing just that one meeting? So now let's look at a second tool. This is what I think about as highest and best use of your time. You have choices about how you use your time. And if you don't take control of your calendar, someone else will, or perhaps they already have. Think about time as your scarcest resource. That's a very powerful concept. One way to leverage your time is delegating. And delegating has a huge hidden benefit. It develops other people. And there's an ROI in development of others. You have the capacity to create, through others, the ability to get more done. This was a big aha moment for me, because being achievement motivated, as I am sure that many of you are, I thought the more and the harder that I worked, the more I could achieve. And I was absolutely right up until a point. And then I realized I could achieve more by leveraging and developing other people. And those words go hand in hand. Those other people, they have to have the skills and the talent to do the work, and the best way to develop that is with the guidance of someone who knows how to do it, how to do the work. And often, as the senior leader in the organization, that's you. So what does all this leverage get for you? I think of it as a time machine. It's all about creating time for yourself to do the most important things. mean, look at your calendars, look at your days, look at your weeks, look at your meetings. What are you spending your time doing? Are you doing the things that could be done by others? Or are you doing the most important things? You can have it all if you don't do it all yourself. You can have it all if you don't do it all yourself. Your time and your energy, those are finite resources. You can use them on the things that you are good at, that you enjoy doing, that are energizing for you, and that are most important to your company. And the payoff to all of this is really that less is more. You will find yourself doing less, but actually accomplishing more. And that more will be fully aligned with your organization and your personal goals. That's the payoff. So remember our old friend Archimedes, last seen running nude through the streets? Well, he had the most enduring soundbite about leverage. It sounds a little boastful, but it's not, because it's a statement of fact. Archimedes said, "Give me a lever and a fulcrum. Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to stand, and I shall move the world." Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to stand, and I shall move the world. As leaders in your organization, you have a place to stand. You also have access to levers, including this framework. With awareness and action, you can close the growth gap and move the world.